Welcome to Yoga Tales. We're going to hear a story today, but first let me show you how to make these awesome little fox ears and fox tail. I'll also have available Fox's best friend, cat. So some ears and tail for a cat as well. All right, so let's go ahead and put together our craft. All right, so we're going to be making a tail and ears for the fox, but there are also kits with cats. And then the cats are very similar to the foxes, so I'm not going to do a separate set of instructions for those. Just follow these ones for the same thing. The only difference is you won't have a fun little ear tip. So first we're going to put together the tail. And in your kit you have glue dots, and we're going to go ahead and put them on the back of this tail. And you can just push them down and then peel the glue dot off by peeling the paper back. And let's see here. We'll just match up where it is on the bottom of the tail, and voila. We got our foxtail, and the foxtail is going to go on the ribbon. So we're going to turn the tail over and put the ribbon on top like so. And then you're going to take two more dots and place it down on the top side like so, and then peel back just like I said before. Make sure it doesn't stick to you like that one just did. All right, and then when you get to that point, you're just going to fold this top edge over, so that way it sticks on your ribbon and your bottom. All right, and then when you want to put that on, you're just going to tie the ends around your waist. All right, so the ear has a few more steps. First, we're going to take and position our ear tip, which is normally black for foxes, even if they have red or gray fur. So we can just position it and see what it'll look like. And then I'm going to take the piece back off. And since now I know exactly where I want it placed, I'm just going to take one glue dot and put it in the middle. Place that down, and then since I have this nifty headband, I'm going to go ahead and sit the ear overlapping the headband, and I'm going to add two dots to the bottom of it. And that's so the piece will stay on the headband, and I already have it positioned nicely. All right, and then I'm just going to overlap it right here and press down. Here we go. And then the last thing is I want to add another piece of glue dot to the top of the ear so that it doesn't wiggle around. Not that I don't want wiggly ears, but I don't want my fox's ears to wiggle and come down while I'm wearing them. All right, and then final part, we're going to go ahead and add our little tuft to the center of the ear by using one more piece of glue. And I'll provide you extra in case you guys end up losing a piece of glue dot and you want to add a few more. So here we are, here's our ears, and then we just put it on our head, and now I'm a fox. All right, let's get to our tail. Now we're going to be doing yoga poses along with the story, so please do them along and I'll have some instructions, or just follow the movements that I make. All right, once upon a time, there was a little fox and his best friend, cat. Fox was feeling quite down because of what other people thought of him. You see, foxes are often thought to be sly and untrustworthy, which makes Fox very unhappy. One day, Fox announced to Cat, who was lounging in the sun, that he was going to try to be another animal for a day. The cat said, "Well, that's just silly. I think you're perfect the way that you are." But the fox was determined, and he went out in search of the first animal he would try, with the cat fast on his heels. He happened upon a cow in the meadow. Fox circled around the cow and climbed on all fours. And he started to moo. Now you want to make sure you tuck your tummy in for this one, because cows like to stick their faces up like this and go moo. The cat caught up with him and laughed at his moos, saying, "Cows have hooves. Just look at your claws. They're almost as fine as mine. Why on earth would you want to trade in your glorious claws?" Fox looked down at the cow, and then he looked at himself, and he thought maybe a cow was not the best choice. He continued on his search until he came upon a butterfly, merrily flitting along from one flower to the next. Now, Fox thought that looked like great fun, so he sat down, putting his hind paws together, and started flapping. Can you guys all flap with me? Well, Butterfly did not like that. Fox disturbed all the flowers with his flapping, causing the butterfly to fly away. Cat said, "Fox, well, I think flying is very entertaining hobby, and I have been known to catch a bug or two in my time. I find it is best to stay on all fours. Don't you think you have rather nice legs?" Fox looked to his legs. He was still in the butterfly pose, remember? And he looked at the cat, and he said, "You might be right about that, cat. Wings aren't for me. Though I would like to soar higher than a butterfly, more like that hawk over there." And so the fox stood up, and he stretched out his arms. Can you guys stretch out your arms and put one leg forward, one leg back? All right. And then he started flapping his arms like he was going to lift off from the ground. He could almost feel the wind in his fur when he lost his balance and fell off the rock. Well, the cat rolled with laughter and suggested that the two move on. All right, back in your lunge. The pair came across a stream leading to a wide pond. Just as they began crossing, they heard a yell from below, "Ah!" right under their feet. They had unwittingly stepped on a long brown snake. The snake yelled up, "Hey, you two, get off my back!" And he lifted his head up and he hissed at them. Fox apologized over and over and lifted his feet, while Cat batted at the snake's tail. Fox sighed, "Snake, you are quite a lovely creature. Can you teach me to slither like you?" Well, the snake quite liked that idea. He told the fox to lay on the ground. Can you guys lay on the ground? And then lift your head up like so. And then the two of them practiced their hisses. Cat said, "Oh no, Fox, look at how dirty you've become. To be a snake, you'd have to give up your beautiful red hair and live in the muck. Ugh! You don't want to do that, do you?" Well, Fox looked at himself, and he looked at the snake and the cat, and then he got up, head drooping, and crossed the stream to the pond. You guys droop your heads a little bit. Cat ran to catch up with him, rubbing against his side. Can you guys do another cat pose? Run, rub against something. Ooh. "Fox, it'll be okay. Don't worry. Look at that happy rabbit hopping to and fro. Perhaps you could be a rabbit today." Perking up, the fox gave it a try. He knew how to prance and dance and jump, but he couldn't quite get the hang of the hop. So So let's go ahead and try this bunny. All right, so we're gonna lean down, and we're gonna put our head to the ground, just like child's pose. And then we're gonna pick our head up and hop. Oh, wow. Hope your hops went really well. All right, but the fox tried to hop, and he stumbled and he fell to the ground. Oof. The rabbit hopped up to him and said, "Those are some great moves, but your tail is what's getting in the way of a proper rabbit hop. Maybe you could try tucking it in." Oh, the cat gasped at that. "You couldn't possibly do without your long, fluffy tail, Fox. Why, it's your best feature." "Oh, you're right, Cat. Thank you. And thank you, Rabbit, for your assistance. It was very fun trying." The fox moped along, stopping at the edge of the water. He saw all the beautiful creatures living and playing nearby, and he began to cry. Cat said, There. I know what will cheer you up. I'll be back really soon." While waiting, the fox continued to pretend to be other animals. He stood on one leg, like a flamingo. He squatted down like a frog. He curled up like a turtle. Here you go, you gotta tuck your head really far and grab your bottom. And he even laid out like a crocodile. Nothing felt right. And nothing made him very happy. All right, hang your head really far low. Pretend to be very unhappy, just like our fox. Just then, a bear came up to the water and sat down next to him. He giggled at the fox, whose head was hanging so low that he looked like an upside-down bat. Fox looked up at the big bear and began to cry harder. "Can you teach me how to be a bear?" The bear was so startled, he reached out and gave the fox the biggest bear hug and laughed. "You silly fox. Why on earth would you want to be a bear?" "No one likes me. They think I play tricks on other animals. I'm so lonely." Said the bear. "That is a problem. I used to be afraid of what others thought of me. They used to say that I'm big and mean and that I steal honey." Sniffling, the fox said, "You don't steal honey?" "No," the bear said. "I ask the bees if they have any honey to spare. Not most of the time, they're very happy to share with me. Here's the thing, Fox. Just be yourself, and others will like you for who and what you are, like that cat you were with earlier." Just then, the cat came back with the fox's favorite soccer ball and bringing along all the animals that he pretended to be today. Fox ran up and he gave his best friend Cat the biggest, happiest hug, and Cat complained very loudly that his tail was in her face. They all laughed and played ball for the rest of the afternoon. And you know what? Fox made a lot of friends. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed doing this story with me today. Stop by the library to get your kit.